3, 2.
Hi, I'm Bastion, and we are at Parachute 2014. I am so stoked to be on the couch, or couches, with Paper Out. Yeah! That is awesome. Not the first time you guys have heard applause at Parachute, though. What a huge set last night at Main Stage. How was that for you, JT? Was it?
It was unbelievable because we've been here for a while and seeing this country, seeing I can't even find words, honestly.
Yeah.
It's probably the most spiritual land I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So to do that set and to end with a song "Dance on Our Graves" and look out and to see like everything we were looking at and to see people singing along was something that we haven't really experienced.
Yeah,
honestly.
well, it was interesting for me watching it, knowing that, I mean, I guess you guys have never been to New Zealand before, but I could hear people singing along. You know, there's obviously quite a few fans here.
Yeah, it made us feel at home for sure. Yeah.
And is it something you ever thought that your music would be, you know, touching people in New Zealand or affecting people here?
I've never even thought about it. Yeah, I mean, it's
You always hope for those kinds of things.
Yeah.
You never expect it.
Yeah, that's probably true.
That's cool. All right, well, I know there's a little bit of a connection with New Zealand because this time last year, at last year's Parachute Festival, I don't know if it was one of you guys, but somebody was here from Paper Out drumming. Was this guy here?
Yeah.
Drumming in half noise.
Right, yeah.
And was that a cool experience?
Yeah, it was
Is that
incredible.
part of why you got the band back?
I mean, I met Luke Oram,
Yeah.
and I was like, I don't know what you have to do, but make sure that you bring my band back next year so that I can guarantee another trip. And it happened. So, yeah, it's great.
That's awesome. Are you still doing stuff with half noise at the moment?
I just play when he has shows, if I'm available. So,
Awesome.
yeah, it's just kind of a secondary thing, a hobby.
Well, I know that
Fun.
Half Noise recorded his album, Zach Farrow and the guys, they recorded their album down in Owakuni, set up a batch, so I mean, I know you guys are
Could
thinking about a third album.
Yeah,
We'd like to get out of town
if you fund it, we'll be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're currently looking for a home, free stay, to record our next album.
The themes of those two albums, I guess there's a set theme for the first one, Absence, and then maybe even The Piece of Wild Things. Is there a set theme to the third album that you're thinking about at the moment?
Oh, it's not nearly as dark, I don't think, as some of the early stuff. But I mean, we just started. I do feel like there are definitely some new things that we want to say. It's a lot more hope-filled so far. I think that we are just continually getting enough courage to, say some things that are hard to admit. And I don't know if that's growing up in the church. I think that it's just a sensitive thing, being an artist and also wanting to incorporate your faith into your life and how that comes out through art is a really hard thing to do. And I think you just have to be brave, and I think we're still kind of discovering that. Would you agree?
Yeah, I would say like the themes, you don't really know it ahead of time. It's like you create something and then you look back on what this body of work you've made, and then you find the themes that are there. But it's never been like a premeditated thing. It's always like we're just trying to express ourselves, to be creative. It's what we do, and so it's only looking backwards that we find the theme. It's never like, here's a theme, let's go for it.
Yeah, sure.
So it's very
It's almost a bit of a diary, I guess.
Exactly.
In some ways,
Well,
isn't it?
it's exactly what it is. And I think we've just started, so I can only comment on the things that have happened so far. But with us, it's like, with the recording process, nothing is sacred. So I mean, the songs we've recorded, I have no idea what will happen with them, but it's just a discovering process for us. And I think that we love it. That's how this band started, was in the studio.
Now, I guess, the last album, and like you said, the first album, maybe there was a few, sort of dark things going on at the time, but it sounds like people were, I listened to that album and I connect to some of those things and I relate to them, and I think, I was standing there next to a mate who's gone through some stuff listening to Better Life, you know, and it's just like, it's really cool. I mean, do you have people come up to you and go, wow, that is, you know, that's helped me through a dark time? Have you had any stories, you know?
Every night, yeah. Honestly.
Yeah.
And we were just talking earlier upstairs in the green room about someone who came up to me today and talked to me about it. And it's really personal. It's not even really something that, you know, we feel comfortable sharing and or even knowing, you know. But I think that we're learning from each other, you know. It's such an amazing thing to really put ourselves and be as honest as we are with some of the things that we're going through in our lives into this art and into this band, and to have other people come up and be like, I completely relate to it, I was there as well, and we're both like, you aren't crazy, I'm not crazy, like we're celebrating that, you know. But it's every night, and honestly I don't want to rely on that, but I will have to admit that if it wasn't like that, I don't know if we would tour as much as we did, because it's hard to tour, you know. But to see people like really live through those things and relate, you know, it's why we do what we do.
How do you guys approach like the Christian market? Is there an approach for you, or you just try to be authentic?
I don't think there is an approach, to be honest. I mean, we kind of have the belief that our call is to just make good art, to be honest, to be true to ourselves, and that's kind of like where our responsibility ends, almost. So we don't. I wouldn't say that we don't change anything for a Christian audience or a secular audience.
We've never even really tried to reach a Christian audience. It just kind of has happened.
It's bizarre.
Relevant Magazine did an article, and everyone's like, "Oh, that Christian."
Yeah, exactly.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
But it's. I mean, I grew up in the church, you know, and I went to Christian music festivals, and we were just talking the other day. It's like Christian music for me was more important than soccer, girls, school, anything. You know, I wanted to wear my Jesus Freak shirt. I don't pay attention to Christian music now. I don't really know how I even feel about it. But I'm just doing what I'm doing in this band, and we all are. And if you guys are connecting to it, that's awesome. You know, like we have a lot of things in common then.
Cool. That's so cool. That's awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for hanging out. One last question. Maybe if you guys could all individually just tell me what inspires you, just in general. That's always interesting. So what inspires you?
I am inspired by a lot of things. I would say I'm really inspired by, my goal always is to imagine what would it sound like if you threw a microphone to heaven. What would that sound like? And that's what I'm constantly trying to capture, because I know it's not anything that can be found in this world. So it's just kind of fun to try that and chase that kind of idea sometimes for me.
For me, I think the end of Gutter last night, where you guys just went a bit crazy, because I love that track. That was getting close.
All right, good. Well,
thank you very much.
That means a lot.
Yeah, seriously.
JT?
I'd say recently reading. You know, I guess I'm a nerd, but there are a lot of poets that I love reading. A band collectively loves Wendell Berry, but I would say probably even more than that, having one-on-one conversations with artists that I think are better than me and learning from them and hearing their approach to the creative process. It really challenges me, and it really it forces me to consider some things that I wasn't willing to consider before.
That's so cool. Awesome.
It changes all the time. I would say, as far as art goes, music inspires me the least. And I don't know, that's depressing to admit, but I think when you do music for a living, it tends to normalize a little bit. So I feel like as a band, we always draw inspiration from like books, film, New Zealand.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you know, traveling, different cultural experiences, meeting people, heartbreak, relationships, friendships. I feel like that is what inspires at least me, and I think us as well. It's rare these days to feel like hear something musically and feel the way you did when you heard something inspiring, like when you were 15 years old. You know, it's like that was life changing. You know, almost every other month you're hearing a new album that was changing your life, and now it's like I don't know, it's a little bit more abnormal for that, but when it happens, it's amazing. But it's more just life experiences, I guess.
That's cool. And now you guys are making music that's, you know, probably that for some people, which is cool as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Hey guys, thank you so much. Awesome privilege to chat to you. This Paper Out at Parachute 2014.